It's taken 5 years, but now loved ones of the Careaga family are finally getting answers. Investigators say a mother, father, and two 16-year-old boys were killed execution style. Today, the three men accused of the brutal murders appeared in court to face the judge. Thank you for joining us for the news at 5. I'm Jamie Tompkins.
And I'm Matthew Smith. Now, the suspects were arrested on Monday, and today we're learning new details about what investigators think led up to the Careaga family murders. We have team coverage. Steve Kiggins is tracking new developments from the courtroom for us.
But first, we head to Fox 13 anchor David Rose, who has closely followed this case since it broke 5 years ago. David, what have you learned? I know you've been in direct contact with family members here.
Well, these quadruple murders in 2017 rocked this community, and today the details we learned tell a sordid tale of drug dealing, greed, and a clash of personalities between two strong men that ended in senseless violence. We're also learning horrific details about the murder, including that 16-year-old Hunter Scott was shot twice when he returned home carrying pizza, found his brother and his mother both dead, and then he bravely called 911 before the killers put a pillow over his head and shot him in cold blood, killing him. The family in court today seeing these suspects for the first time. Fox 13 News reporter Steve Kiggins here joining me in Kitsap County for team coverage, and Steve has the very latest on the investigation. Steve?
Yeah, today, David, is a day many have been waiting for in this community. Finally, someone paying for what they believe, who has been responsible for this quadruple homicide. But I'll tell you, these detectives we talked to tell us this isn't over. They believe more arrests could be coming. 50-year-old Robert Watson III was the first to be escorted into court while the victim's family members sat quietly in the gallery, finally seeing someone be held accountable for the quadruple murder of the Careagas and their teen boys. Suspect 49-year-old Johnny Watson was the second person brought into court, and trailing the brothers, 43-year-old Daniel Kelly, also in a jumpsuit and shackles. All three men pleading not guilty to 16 felonies. What was $20 million bail for each suspect on Monday vanished when the judge and defense attorneys agreed each man will remain behind bars until trial. Johnny Careaga, according to court documents, had been selling large amounts of narcotics, with likely hundreds of thousands of dollars being stashed at his family's home. But investigators never found cash at the property. Court records allege Robert Watson's bank accounts then began growing by large, unexplainable sums. Charging documents weave a prolonged, sordid nexus between the Watson brothers and Kelly, culminating in a plan, say detectives, to murder 43-year-old Johnny Careaga and his 43-year-old wife, Christelle, and their teenage sons, 16-year-old Jonathan Higgins and 16-year-old Hunter Schaap. All but Schaap, say court records, shot to death execution style. Except investigators think Schaap interrupted the crime, having enough life within him to call for help. Their bodies doused with flammables and set ablaze January 2017. Johnny Careaga also found burned days later in his truck miles from home, leading investigators to believe more arrests could be looming. Court documents allege this video from Target shows Kelly, taken before the murders, was also taken the same day Kelly allegedly bought a burner phone, a phone used by Watsons and Kelly to coordinate business with Careaga, and ultimately his family's murder. Through dozens and dozens of interviews, assistance from other law enforcement agencies, the FBI, and new cell phone tracking technology help establish communications between Careaga and the trio and their locations, tying together what police believe implicates the Watsons and Kelly in the quadruple homicides. It's a long time coming for detectives.
Yesterday, when I heard the third person was in custody, it was just a big relief.
In dollars, just opportunity is gone. Which is likely to begin at the beginning of August. The detectives say that they're also waiting to hear back from people they interviewed before who might.
And for detectives, this was all about providing answers for the family. For 5.5 years, they have not been able to tell them exactly what went on. That's been frustrating for them, but now they were finally able to tell the loved ones exactly what unfolded and share that with them. So what was that like for family members inside the courtroom? I talked with Ashlyn. Her mother, Crystal Careaga, was the first one killed in the Careaga home, and she talked about what it was like to see the three men accused of slaughtering her two brothers.
It was satisfying to be able to look at them in the eye and in their face and see these monsters finally and have a face to the crime. It's been nice and satisfying, and it's surreal that we're here, able to be in there with them.
Did they seem to you to show any remorse?
Not at all. Not at all. There was no remorse. You could feel the cold off them. You can sense the evil just by looking at them and being in the same room as them. It was almost a chill.
And I just spoke with detectives about what's next in this case. They say now that these three suspects are being held without bail, they are hoping that members of the community will step forward and provide more information. They are very confident that there are people in the past who have lied to them or withheld information. They do believe that there are more suspects who rendered criminal assistance after these murders, and they say they are not going to give up pursuing justice, so they're asking anyone to please come forward either by contacting Crime Stoppers or by submitting a tip to the Kitsap County Sheriff's Office.
And David, we've heard a lot about the Banditos Motorcycle Club and whether or not they have factored into this case. What new information did you learn today?
We learned quite a bit of new information, including that Bobby Watson was wearing a Banditos jacket when he was arrested. And in fact, over the last 5 years, Bobby Watson has been promoted. He is now the National Sergeant at Arms for the Banditos Motorcycle Club. But he's not the only one. Danny Kelly, who all started out in all of this as just a hanger-on, then became a prospect, has also been promoted, and he is now a member of the Banditos and is, in fact, the Sergeant at Arms for the Bremerton chapter of the Banditos. All that being said, detectives say that the Banditos Motorcycle Club is not part of this as far as they know. In fact, they have cooperated in this investigation. The club itself is not implicated in these murders. But again, there's a lot to unpack here. Coming up at 5:30, we're going to take you inside this investigation, have much more details for you. So we'll see you then. For now, I'm David Rose in Port Orchard. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
David, thank you. We will closely monitor this story and bring you the very latest right here on Fox 13, as well as our website, fox13seattle.com.